I chopped this philodendron a few weeks ago and you can see there is so many new growth points on this plant now. The cuttings are also rooting very well. See, I've got roots and also a new leaf on this one. As the mother plant and the cuttings are both doing well, I think it is time to cut my favourite plant. My big, beautiful Philodendron Pink Princess. I really love this houseplant, but I am going to cut half of it back. There's two main stems on this plant. This one has stunning even variegation with pink and green and different hues. The leaves are also quite large, still all the way up the plant. On this second growth point though, the plant has started producing mainly pink leaves, and as beautiful as they are quite problematic. These fully pink leaves are very stunning, but they are quite small and they are dying off quite quickly. You can see one's going brown here, which I will snip off. This entire offshoot here is completely pink. This one has some variegation still, but you can see the leaves are so small compared to this side. The reason this happens is because these beautiful pink leaves don't have any chlorophyll in them. That is what the plant needs to photosynthesize. So these pink leaves are using a lot of energy and not giving anything back. So the leaves that are completely brown, I am going to cut off. This other section I'm going to cut and propagate. Then hoping that this part of the plant will push out new leaves that are more green and pink instead of just straight pink. So I have my two cuttings. This one will definitely root, and it does still have some variegation. This one is completely pink, so I don't have a lot of hope for it, but it's just so pretty that I'm not ready to throw it away yet. I am going to let these callus slightly before I put them in the water. I will show you what that looks like. Then hopefully we will have some rooted propagations in a few weeks. And this mother plant should now push out lots of new growth and become bushy like this Philodendron White Princess. I'm just going to add a soil and microbe booster, which is not as strong as fertilizer, but it will give some good nutrients. She's been through it with that chop. Just sprinkle some on. You could also mix this into the soil if you were repotting. I'm now going to soak the soil with water so that booster gets into the roots. Yes, my dog is here snoring again. That should do it. It is time for a philodendron propagation update. The first philodendron I propagated was the Philodendron White Princess. I did this one a few weeks before the Pink Princess, so we have a lot of new growth to check in on. You can see I chopped the plant here. Since then, she's got one full leaf and has another one unfurling. This new section of growth is actually a branch, not just a leaf. You can tell that because there is multiple growth points already, and there is also a little node growing. The same is going to happen here, here, and there's another growth point down in there. All these new growth points should make this plant a lot bushier. Now let's have a look at the cuttings. You can see there is quite a long root system. There's actually first and secondary roots growing off this one. She is definitely ready to transfer to soil, but if you follow me, you know I love a hydro plant, so I'm going to keep her in hydro a little longer. So far the new growth is coming from the base and not the top, which is interesting, but we're going to let Mother Nature do her thing. This is the second cutting, which is the very top of the plant. You can see there is a new leaf growing out the top, and the roots are also quite long. They aren't as long as these roots, which is interesting because I actually put this one in a rooting hormone to see if it would grow faster, and it is growing slower. So the Philodendron White Princess is a success, but I'm sure you're all here because of the Pink Princess. So this was the very top, and again you can see roots growing, gorgeous pink. These are coming from the nodes, which is why you need to include a node when you take a cutting. It's only been a week or two since I took this cutting, so there is no new leaves unfurling, but I can see a new one is going to grow here. This is the second cutting I took, and the one which I wasn't very hopeful was going to last because the leaves are completely pink. This means there is no chlorophyll, so there is not a lot of hope for this section. But again, she is rooting beautifully, and there is a new leaf growing, so maybe she will live on. Now the mother plant. This is a section that I cut, and there is no new growth points yet, but it has only been a week or two. The other side though is continuing to put out the most beautiful variegated leaves. She's still so stunning even without all that pink. If you have a look at the size of these leaves compared to this, you can really see why I cut this side off. The lack of chlorophyll meant that the leaves were growing smaller and smaller instead of staying big and beautiful like on this side. I love that there's orange and pink and green. I am tempted to cut off this section as well, just because then I could have more Pink Princess plants, but that might be for next spring. As for care for the philodendron, I do have an older video on the Pink Princess, which I will link here. In short though, I water it weekly in the warmer months, fertilize monthly with a liquid plant food. I sometimes pop it in the shower with slightly warm water. This is to clean these big beautiful leaves and also increase the humidity a little bit. I do like a higher humidity and also brighter sunlight. I have mine sitting in my window and it gets direct and indirect sunlight throughout the day. They need the sunlight, especially these variegated plants. And that's it, I think. Let me know if you've got any questions. Bye!